Good evening, my name is Natalia Flores Helves, and today I'm going to present you my pedagogical research, enhancing English vocabulary acquisition in the second grade students through the implementation of didactic tools at Escuela Normal Superior de Pamplona. So before to start talking about the research, I would like to tell you something about Escuela Normal Superior of Pamplona, which is located on Avenida Santander in the Zulia neighborhood and offers education at all levels of primary and secondary school. So another aspect that is really important is the students. So my practice and research was carried with students in the second grade. These students come from single parents families of limited resources, and most of them are from Venezuela. So this is a important aspect because the culture and the way in which they understand the life, and they appreciate the 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 learning process is different. Another aspect that is important to know too is that at Normal, there are students that has a special needs. So in this group, students range in age from 7 to 9 years old. And as I mentioned before, some of them are students with special educational needs. So it was a really, really hard work to offer all students the same opportunities to learn foreign language, in this case, English. So the level of the students is A1. So the first thing that I do for building my proposal was to study the needs of the students, and then establish some objectives in order to achieve all them, and offer to the students the opportunity to improve the vocabulary, which was the main point of my research. So as you can see, here we have the objectives, the general objectives and the specific objectives, which were related to vocabulary. So the first one was to provide didactic tools to facilitate the learning vocabulary in English for second grade students at Escuela Normal Superior de Pamplona. So in order to achieve these general objectives, I propose 3 specific objectives. The first one was inquire about the educational needs, as I mentioned before, about vocabulary in English. And the second one was create visual aids such as flashcards, posters, digital presentations, in order to reinforce all the knowledge that students possessed, and give them new knowledge because they need to improve their English level. So as last objective, I have to create a visual aid such as flashcard, poster, digital presentation to reinforce the English vocabulary in the classroom. So okay. Okay. Another aspect that I have to do was to look for information or to seek for information that give me all the knowledge necessary in order to comprehend how vocabulary uh, could affect the learning, or how can vocabulary limitate the acquisition of foreign languages. So I read some articles. These are the articles that I read in order to obtain or to get more information. So the first one highlights the importance of vocabulary acquisition in second language learning and the challenge faced by students and teachers in vocabulary instructions. The second one was about acquisition of vocabulary through the three memory strategies. So in this article, the author examines the effectiveness of the three strategies for acquiring vocabulary. One of them was word cards, pictures, and fables. So the study highlights the cognitive and affective factors involved in these strategies, which affect student perception of vocabulary learning. Another article was vocabulary learning and instruction in the second or foreign languages. The articles focuses in the significance of vocabulary acquisition, and also I have the beginning to learn foreign vocabulary. So these articles was really, really important because it emphasizes the importance of both direct and indirect vocabulary learning. I mean, there are kind of vocabulary that are more important than others, but it doesn't mean that all vocabulary are important. In fact, the article says that it is important both direct and indirect vocabulary in the learning process. So then I have the examining the last article, which examining the perceptive vocabulary of English language learning in Spanish primary education. So these articles highlights that needs for more research on vocabulary acquisition and enhancing young learners with goals improving language teaching methods and educational research. So the article says that it is necessary to improve, to create new strategies that motivate students to learn a foreign languages, to be creative, to use or to create new things, not stay at the same all the time. So another aspect that was really important too was the process that I followed at the moment of develop all the investigation. So the first one was to write a research questions. From this point, I planned all the steps that I follow. So after that, I create the objectives that I mentioned before. Then I make a review about literature. Finally, data collections. And this step was carried about the lesson plans, the file diary, and the surveys that students solves online. After that, I read all the information, all the answers given by students, and I create the result matrix in which I discuss how each strategy, I mean, the lesson plans, surveys, quizzes, all the strategies that I use in order to get information, give me that information that allow me to know if the strategy or the flashcards, all the material that I used at the classroom in the teaching process was effective or wasn't. So the final part of the information was data analysis. So in this part, I have to think about what I get. Yes, for example, oh my God, I found that maybe students didn't feel motivated when in the classroom or in the class there weren't audiovisual strategies or tools, because they feel comfortable when they watch videos, when they do activities in which they work their body, they move their body, they do something, because most of the students learn in a audiovisual way, and the other part feels comfortable with the kinesthetic intelligence. So that kinds of information. So then I have the discussion and conclusions. Discussion is like to put together all the information that I have and to say, okay, this function, that function, it is necessary to. And then the conclusions of the research. And that was the final part, the conclusions. So, okay, some of the aspects that are part of the discussions and conclusion is that during the implementation period, a notable increase in active students' participation in learning activities was observed, as well as improvement in their retention and comprehension of the thought vocabulary. The results also highlights that importance of adapting teaching strategies to specific characteristics of the student group and educational context in which they are situated. I mean, for example, as I mentioned before, most of the students feel comfortable when they have, or when teachers uses videos, songs, different activities that didn't have to write or read, that are more specific in outdoor spaces, because they learn when they listen, when they sing, when they watch something, they learn more. And on the other hand, there are another students that maybe when they move their body, when they play a role, when they do something special, and they learn more. Okay, another important thing was that a continuous assessment of students' progress through tests, exercises, and classroom observation is essential to determine the effectiveness of implemented didactic tools. And the final conclusion was that environment of students can significantly impact their academic performance and vocabulary acquisition skills. So that was all for today. It was a really significant experience for me. And that's all. Thanks for your attention. See you next time. Bye bye.